All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cycle Jerks Podcast, episode 133. I'm here with Dave Dalton, as always. How you doing, Dave?
I'm better now. Boy, do I have a
Yeah.
story for you.
Yeah. Well, okay, well let's get well, before we get into that, let's we had something pretty tragic happen to our cycling community in Sacramento the past few days, and we just want to extend well wishes and healing vibes to our friend of the podcast, Derek Teal. He goes by Dialed Health on um,
Facebook and Instagram.
yeah, and we had him on because he did a double Everest, which is insane, by the way. But it's just one of many impressive things that Derek's done in his cycling career.
Mike,
And
can I stop you for a minute?
yeah,
An Everest is insane, but okay, a double Everest
double,
is
double.
by an order of magnitude.
Yeah, yeah. So um, he got hit by a car, and it was a hit and run. And they're still looking for the vehicle. It's a silver Honda or Acura, something like that. And it has damage. It lost its passenger side mirror, and it's got damage on the right side fender. But
Yeah, if
uh,
I'm not sure you got the model right, but look on Instagram and Facebook. It's all over. I'm it's escaping me now, but if you want to be of help, yeah, please find out and keep an eye out for that car. Keep an eye out for the
yeah,
fuckers driving it.
and Derek is, he has suffered like a collapsed lung, broken pelvis, broken femur, broken ribs. He's had multiple surgeries in the hospital. Um, it's it's pretty devastating. And so the folks at MTB underscore NorCal on Instagram have set up a donation page for Derek and his family. He has a couple of kids and his wife, and they're just asking for $10 donations. You can obviously choose as many of those as you'd like, but yeah, if you want to get on there and send some love, some money, please do so. And yeah, we just wish him all the best in his recovery. I'm sure, knowing Derek, he's going to come back in an epic fashion. And you know, who knows? The sky's the limit with that guy and his motivation and drive.
Yeah, and I just couple comments. Please help out if you can.
Yeah,
And I know for some, even $10 is a lot. Then just send, healing vibes to him. I'm sure his family will appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, he's a wife, and if you watch his videos, he's got two young kids, right? And
yeah,
so I'm sure I can't even imagine the extent of the injuries, what the cost will be and
yeah.
the toll it will take on that family. So any kind of support that you can give. And um, my only other comments would be, first of all, God bless the cycling community. I mean, Derek is, I mean, he's a very, very unique individual and obviously has made an impression on a lot of people, but it's incredible how much the cycling community has responded in terms of getting the word out about it.
Yeah.
Not only about the donation, but getting the word out about this car because we've got to catch these fuckers,
Yeah.
right? And my only complaint of this whole thing is there was one post I think that listed it as an accident. It's not an accident, it's
Yeah.
it's not an accident.
Definitely
Um,
not.
and so and it's just so tragic. Um, so yeah, again,
Well,
thanks
uh,
to this. Yeah, go ahead.
let me chime in here. It very well could have been an accident. The hitting of Derek could have been an accident, but hit and run is definitely not an accident,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times, uh, situations you see it with auto accidents, even people panic, and I can't imagine if you're, you know, unintentionally you hit somebody and it looks serious. I mean, I don't know what would be going through your mind. I'm not justifying it by any means, but
Yeah.
people panic and do stupid things, and hopefully that's the case here, where it was just an innocent thing that happened, and the person just panicked, and they're going to come to justice or realize, and maybe just even come forward. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I guess I'm
but
just hypersensitive that in these situations when this happens, so much of the blame often gets tossed on the cyclist, right?
right,
So, and I think we're getting off topic a little bit, but it's just awful.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So.
Well, okay. So Dave had a situation with CBD, uh, and I think it's probably worth talking about. A lot of
That-
us are looking for remedies to ail, to fix our sore muscles. CBD is kind of uh, it falls into like a grace area where they make all these claims. It's supposed to be good for your muscles. It's supposed to be good for your brain. It's supposed to be
yeah.
good for your recovery. All this stuff. And is it? I mean,
Yeah.
there certainly are people out there that are big proponents of it, and maybe it is for some. But
Yeah, well, I'll could the net. I'll give you my story, and then I want your story, Mike, because I want to find out when you're going to get your haircut. But,
yeah,
um, and then we got to plug our sponsor. But yeah, folks, let me know. I'm completely befuddled here. Long story short, I'd taken CBD a long time ago because I have arthritis in my hands, and I just don't know how to sleep. Um, can't say that I felt any measurable impact. So then I got this harebrained notion that I'll try CBD with a dash of THC, I guess is what they call it. And I got violently ill. Um, this was a long, long time ago. That night we had food from a restaurant we'd never eaten at, so I thought, well, maybe it was just food poisoning. Tried it again, same thing. Tried a more expensive kind because someone told me no, it must have been that's never happened. It must have been a bad batch. Violently ill. So now I said, well, it's got to be the THC. So I went back to the non THC CBD, just a little stronger dose because I just need sleep. Same reaction, same reaction, just violently ill and all night long, up, down, can't sleep, pacing around the house. So I just, I'm
us.
like, and it's so, everyone says it's so great. And I mean, look, people, look at these arthritic hands. I just want some relief. And, I want some, I want to be able to sleep. And it's just, and if you talk to people, no one else on the planet that I've ever spoken to, told the story to, has ever had
Yeah,
the reaction.
yeah. Okay. Well, that's consider now you have. And
Yeah,
it's going
yeah.
out there into the atmosphere. If you've had a
Feed,
weird reaction to CBD, let us know. Let Dave
feed,
know so it doesn't feel like
feedback
a
welcome,
lunatic fringe,
or give me a solution. I don't know, but feedback
Yeah.
is welcome. So
Yeah.
I
All
didn't get to drive Sue to the airport. Oh man, I was bad. I'm in trouble. So
yeah. Well, sorry to hear that. But hey, right now we are joined by the Luna family.
hello, Luna family.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
All
Morning.
right. So
All right.
while you're here, we're gonna introduce you in a second, but I'm gonna plug our sponsor, and then you're gonna go buy because you're gonna want this.
Yeah.
We're sponsored today by Phil's Cookies of Phil Guyman fame.
Do you guys know
So,
Phil?
Phil
Yeah.
Guyman?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
worst retirement ever. Yeah, he rides his bike and makes cookies.
Yeah.
So highly recommend this. Look, here's funny. I posted this like Sue's out of town. I didn't get to drive her to the airport, but she's out of town. So I'm like, I'm left to fend for myself. I got to make the bed. I got to cook. And now I get this craving. My stomach starts to feel a little bit better. So I got to have some food. So whipped up some of his cookies, man, batter, egg, butter, done. So even I look like a culinary genius. So
Wow.
highly recommend Phil's Cookies. And every dollar, $1 every dollar, he'd hang me for that. But $1 from every bag sold goes to No Kid Hungry to wipe out uh,
Childhood hunger
childhood hunger. That's the word
in
I was looking
America.
for. In America. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah.
Anyways,
Your wife leaves town and you're eating cookies for breakfast. You're
it's-
off to a great start.
and
Uh,
washing it down with Diet Pepsi.
yeah, and I
So
know that these gentlemen on the that are joining us are not eating cookies for breakfast, I hope, right?
that's why they're so fast.
Yeah. Okay. So we're calling you guys the Luna family, as you are, right? But it's Joel, who I met I would say about a year ago at
Yes.
working at World of Wheels in Modesto, a bike shop, great bike shop. If you're in the Central Valley, check them out. They have two locations, World of Wheels and Fun Sport Bikes. Um, and he was telling me all, we got friendly, we started talking about product first, but then we started talking about his boys and how they're getting into racing and they're experiencing this success. So we're excited to have Josh and Jacob with us today too. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Which one's Josh and which one's Jacob?
I'm Josh, and yeah, I'm Jacob.
Jacob,
Okay.
are you kissing Mike's butt by wearing a giant hat? Is that what you're
Hey,
doing?
Dave,
What?
what's the matter with you?
It's a rainy day.
All right. So, Josh, how old are you?
I'm 18.
And Jacob
I'm 14.
Wow.
and Joel?
I'm 45.
All right. Yeah. Well, you don't look
I'm
it.
si- I'm
Yeah.
63.
Yeah.
Just so that-
57. So,
Yeah.
all right.
They still look good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
so
So,
welcome, guys. Thank you for coming on.
yeah.
Thank you. Well,
One of the things in preparing for you guys coming on, I sent Dave a recent picture of yours off of Instagram or a video where you guys are all in the pain cave, all
yeah.
riding Zwift, the whole family, even mom's involved.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. They got 4 bikes lined up and they're just in there getting after it as a family. That's pretty cool. When did you guys start riding the trainers? Is that something
Wait,
relatively
when did you
new?
start riding though? Let's back.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, when did you guys start? I say this, I do want to get to this whole indoor training and doing it as a group thing, but I'm so impressed, guys, that I just again, I'm partial to cycling, right? But I just don't see enough young people, young kids getting into the sport, right? And it's so I commend you and I applaud you because I know the difference here is it's one thing when it's always a team sport, but it's another thing when there's a lot of individual stuff that you got to go out and do. So when I see kids on the high school team that go out and actually run by themselves, my only shout out to running that I'll ever give, or kids that are on riding that do these endurance type sports, right? It's one thing to have a team that's motivating you to show up at practice. It's another thing to say, wow, it's really cold and wet out there, but I got to go do my workout, right? So I commend you. When did you get hooked on this, and when did it and what keeps you going, I guess,
Yeah,
other than
I
dad
actually
made? Go
I
ahead.
started. Yeah, I'm the one started doing like I think I started when I'm 15 back
Okay.
in the days. Start racing in the Philippines. Then when I move over here, um, kind of back up. Then when I moved to Central Valley, from the Bay to Central Valley, then I started again, riding, cycling. Then this one, like I think 4 years ago, 5 years ago, the kids like they start like that, we want to try it. So we start
Yeah.
like, like riding around town. Then Josh started to like, oh, I want to do it more. Then Jacob is going up and he's like, you don't want to get left behind.
Right.
And he just started joining it too.
So
Then
14 and 10. And what was the progression? So we start riding around town. So this is kind of cool. Then you go and enter your first race, or do you just, what do you do?
no, we just like going distance, like for 10 miles, 20 miles. Then we start like looking for like challenges. Like the first one is the Mount Diablo challenge.
Yeah.
Then our target is just to finish it. but they did good. I was surprised. Like, they did a good time. Um, I
Your
think like
the
one.
first event you choose is the Diablo challenge.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think, Josh, what is your time?
Hey, trial
Yeah,
by fire, Dave.
yeah,
You
I
just throw them in
guess.
there and see what happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Good on
What is your
you.
first time?
Yeah, my first time was like an hour and like 30. It was like really, I just really wanted to finish it.
And
Yeah.
what age?
Yeah.
So
What
you
year?
I
that
think I was about like 12, 13 at that time.
Okay. Yeah, I mean
5 years ago.
it's a rude awakening, right? You could ride around
yeah.
like Modesto, especially where you guys are located. It's flat. So you could
It's
go out
flat, yeah.
60 miles, you might get 400 feet of vert or something. I mean, it's kind of crazy how flat it is. So, and you could get really fast on the flats and you could, be doing intervals and all that, but then all of a sudden you hit Mount Diablo, that's a
Mhm.
whole different ball game. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter how fast you are on the flats,
Yeah.
you got to deal with this whole different dynamic going on.
Uh,
And so, yeah, an hour 30, uh, that's respectable coming from the flats and
Yeah.
not never doing something like that.
yeah,
So
props.
I
I
know
rode with
I happen to know they're a little bit faster now though.
oh yeah.
We saw you out, Dave and I were out at the challenge this year and we saw you out there. And I think you guys were both under 55 minutes. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, under
Yeah.
55.
Yowza. Yeah.
We're not broadcasting this episode. That's like they're
Yeah.
faster than me. We're not
Yeah.
broadcasting. Okay, thank
Faster
you.
than you've ever done it, Dave.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you for
Yeah.
joining us
Just to
today.
make a clarification.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. We'll see
That's
you.
pretty yeah.
Wow.
Pretty incredible. So Joel, so I didn't know you moved here from the Philippines. So you were 15 when you came from the Philippines? Is that what you said?
I was like around 19, 18, something
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Yeah.
And did you race road bikes in the Philippines
Yeah,
prior to moving here?
BMX and road bike. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
now Mike's excited. You mentioned BMX. Now we
Wow.
gotta
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
gonna turn into a 2 hour pod
I
now.
know, right? Yeah. No, I did a fair amount of BMX, but we won't go there. But so racing in the Philippines, and then obviously coming to America, right? You got this culture shock. You're kind of acclimating, getting what. But then when you finally get back to racing again, what would you say that what's different about the two? Is the like in the Philippines, is racing as big as it is here in the United States?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same, but the thing is like the organizers are, man, it's like way different. Over here, your race is like the road is closed, you have officials. In the Philippines, the road is open. You're on your own. Once the race is on, you need to follow that motorcade. If you missed
Oh,
it, you're done.
oh boy, right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dealing with cross
And there's,
traffic and yeah,
yeah, there's traffic, everything. People crossing the roads. Yeah.
yeah.
oh, yikes.
So I have a buddy of mine who travels. He travels all over the world and doing BMX shows and stuff. And he has some footage of him in the Philippines riding a scooter with he's sitting on his BMX bike, like his BMX bike is laying across his seat. It's laying flat.
Mhm.
And then he's sitting on top of it on a scooter. And it's him and two of his homies, and they're ripping through town. And it looks like there's no traffic laws whatsoever. It's there's like people going different directions, left
No,
turn, right turn, all
yeah.
over. That's
Even
just
you're
how it is.
walking on the Yeah, even you're walking on the sidewalk, you need to be careful. That's one lane for cars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. So I can't imagine trying to navigate a bike race with the chaos that might be happening all around you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's wild.
Yeah. They just look for the main group on the race. So like I say, if the motorcade is in front, you just follow him. Once you get dropped, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So the
No
boys come to
thanks.
you and you're riding a lot and the boys come to you and say, "Hey, I want to get involved." Um, was that always kind of like your dream as a dad, like to get my kids involved with cycling? Or did it just kind of happen organically? It's like, hey, whatever my kids are into, I'm a dad, I'm going to support that, right? But talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, like um it's kind of like it's kind of happy for me then because I know the danger too, right? Coming from a
Yes.
different kind of, but over here, like I say, it's more safer. Then me and my wife is like, oh, they want to ride, why not? Like I said, let's do it. And we
Yeah.
didn't know that they love it. They will love it, and they become more, like focused, competitive, and until now, they just like more focused than me on their training.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
when you did it though, when they got hooked, were you racing or just a recreational rider and they wanted to follow you, or they used to come out in races and saw you racing and then they said, I want to do it?
No, I'm just like riding with groups. Then
Okay.
when they start racing, I race
Now
back
you
again.
become you're the spectator
Yeah,
and the soigneur and the soigneur
yeah,
and the
Yeah.
mechanic. Yeah.
yeah.
And the sponsor probably for the beginning, right? Yeah.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So now I understand the boys now you're both racing on a team, is that right? You're on not
Yeah.
the same team though.
No, different teams. Yeah.
Okay, so Josh, who are you racing for now?
So yeah, I'm racing for the Velo Kings this year.
Okay, and then how about you, Jacob?
I'm racing for it's a junior team called Devout.
Okay. Yep. Are
And
these local teams or are they like California teams or where are they run out of?
So so the Velo Kings is down in Fresno, so Central Valley based. But race around the state most of the time, yeah. Yeah, and
Okay.
Devout is it's a California team. It's in Sonoma.
Sonoma. Okay. Yeah. So
but
do you
that
go ahead, Dave?
this brings up an itch. So they're okay. So they're California based teams or Central Valley based teams. So you got people in Fresno. You guys are in Modesto. You're in Modesto. They're in Sonoma. Are there teammates? Are you on that because they have structured programs, or there's other teammates local that you can ride with and are with on a daily basis?
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's there's local people around the group rides and I met a couple teammates. Well, and then eventually I wanted to join them. I saw how they worked in a group and in a race because I never really had that like teammate aspect to racing. I always raced by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Jacob.
And yeah, for me, had past teammates, so I just wanted to join them, and they offered me this team.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Wow.
a lot of people don't understand the team dynamics in cycling, but there's a lot to it, not just, beyond race strategy, and preparation, support, camaraderie, you got someone that's a teammate that you can share your training foibles with, Um, so
Yeah, and that's why I asked. I mean, it's one now you guys have each other, which is one thing, but it's again, I go back to that individual thing. If you've got teammates and there's a ride scheduled, it's one thing to show up. It's another thing to have the motivation and the drive to get out there and do it yourself. And so
Mhm.
that's kind of where I was driving. But yeah, okay.
Mhm.
So do you
So
guys Josh and Jacob, do you guys train together? I know you ride the Zwift together, but I mean outside, are you actually going on rides together and pushing each other back and forth? Is that how it works or
Um, yeah, when we go outside, whenever we're riding together, there's always some kind of competition with a sprint, maybe.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well,
wow.
how about you, Dad? Are you involved in this at all?
Oh, and I'll try to keep up, but I'm done. So
Yeah.
what we do when we go out riding, especially when we go out in the canyon, right? I'll put a like a mark, like I say, a 10-mile mark, and whoever crossed that line and got it. So we'll
Right.
start like on a first 1 mile to 10-mile race, and that's it. They're just like battling toe to toe.
Yeah. Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
well, so Josh, you probably have an advantage, right? Being older, stronger,
Yeah.
more experience, and then
Uh-huh.
Jacob, but Jacob, seeing your older brother, trying to keep up with him, all that stuff, right? It's probably really helping you develop at a higher rate. Like you had to go kind of on your own and kind of push your own boundaries, whereas Jacob had this role model of somebody going faster, going harder, and so I don't know if you realize this, Jacob, but you've really benefited greatly from your older brother Josh.
You owe him big time. Don't.
Yeah. Yeah. But don't ever let up on him though. No
Yeah.
way. Right. So but no, that's a great dynamic to have. I coached baseball for years and I had these I had twin brothers on the team that I coached for 3 years. And I'll tell you what, those two, they were so competitive with each other, but it was healthy competition. It was like in a really good way. Hopefully, do you guys have a good, healthy relationship that way? Is it spirited and hard,
Yeah,
but
oh yeah, it was
good natured too? Yeah. All
yeah,
right.
of course.
Yeah.
Okay, then let me ask this. Then why not the same team?
Okay.
Ah,
Because so the Velikings are more like they're more older riders, like masters. I'm actually like
got
gonna
it.
be the youngest rider there. So
Yeah.
and then Jacob's team is more junior focused, so it's
Okay.
more a lot of
Got
juniors,
it.
and I just finished becoming a junior.
All right.
And
Got it.
Joel,
Yeah.
does that put you in a tough spot? Do you have to go to different races, or are they kind of meet, or do you just pick the ones where you just go to the same venue and race? Is that how it works?
Yeah,
Or
we just go on the same venue race because Jacob can race in Cat 4. So if
yeah,
it's there's no junior, he race in Cat 4 men's elite. So we're pretty balanced on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm almost now that I know your time's up, Diablo. I'm almost like I don't even know if I want to know the answer to this. So you go and you're in a Cat 4 Masters race. How are you doing in that race? Like,
Uh, I think I can keep up. It's just the finning. The finishing is the hardest part because usually
Right.
it's fast at the end.
you had me at keep up. That's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
still that's impressive.
Yeah, it
So
really is at your age to be able to get in there with, a bunch of whole old hardened racer people,
yeah.
yeah, that's all just great stuff. As a
Yeah.
junior, it's not easy as a junior because like you say, there's nobody else out there doing it. So you end up getting pushed into these groups of these more experienced cyclists, but it's great for your development and
But that
long
but
term
that
you're going to be just fine.
and that speaks to, I'm curious on this, Jacob. When there's not a junior race, right? I think it speaks to it relates to exactly what I was saying before, with like how many of those times aren't there junior races? Because I genuinely feel this goes back to what I said before. It's a shame there aren't more people getting into the sport, but the same thing is applicable in the women's categories too, right? Like they'll get in women's categories, they get 5 people showing up for this, or they'll throw them in with the men, and they'll time them separately, but they'll throw them in with the men. And to me, it's just disappointing. Like how many times are there junior fields, and if there are, how many people are in that?
Well, like you said, like when he has a race, so I usually just join when he has like
Okay.
when he goes racing, I'll be with like his race, but like not in the same category. So uh there's gonna be like about
In a year.
like in a year, yeah, probably like 5 to 6 races for men's.
Okay.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it.
The actual where you have a junior field. Is that what you're
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah,
No juniors.
yeah, no
Yeah.
juniors.
Yeah.
Oh,
How about you, Josh? Did
Yeah.
you start off in the junior category as well? Or
Yeah, I started off as a age 13, 14 junior, racing by myself. It's usually only like a handful of riders, let's say like 8 people at the most in a race. So
yeah.
no
yeah,
tactics whatsoever.
right. Yeah. All of you for yourself. That's like a BMX gate,
Yeah.
right? Right, Joel? Eight guys on the
Yeah.
gate. Yeah.
Guy.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
when I was coming up, I mean, there was actually more juniors. I think the mountain bike, the the nichification of the sport of cycling has really impacted road because when we were growing up, Dave, it was either you road raced or you BMX'd. That was it.
Yeah.
There was no mountain biking. There was no, I mean, mountain biking came on the scene kind of later. So, yeah, that and now with gravel, there's just all these different niches that take people away on the weekend. So the road fields just keep getting smaller and smaller. And there is not a really good, like with the mountain biking, in the high school level, they have that NICA, where you can have a high school mountain bike team, and NICA actually discourages road riding, because they don't want you out on the roads. They don't want a group of kids out on the roads because, it can be dangerous. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, but there is definitely a space for a junior development, programs, that could maybe help funnel this. I'm curious what the reaction is with your classmates when you tell them that you're racing road bikes. Let's start with you, Josh. How does that go? I mean, are you big with the ladies because of road bikes?
No, no, no. But but yeah, I think most of them are just like amazed. Like it's not really a common sport, and especially if you're like racing and you tell them all about it, they're really like fascinated. Like, wow, I didn't know something like this existed. And
Yeah,
like those people who mountain bike, I feel like there's like a unnecessary like I don't know, like hate between road and mountain. Like, oh, I don't like the road. Oh, I don't like the dirt. So I feel like
yeah.
that when you talk to a mountain biker, they usually say something about not getting on the road.
Right. Right. They'll
Yeah.
comment about your lycra or whatever. I always
Yeah.
when somebody gives me a hard time about it, I always say, instead of being a roadie or a mountain biker, I always say, hey, I'm a cyclist. I'll ride anything. So hopefully that can help bridge the gap a little bit. How about you, Jacob? Different dynamic at your age, probably, but I'm sure
Yeah.
kids your age don't know anything about road racing, probably.
Yeah, they don't. They're more focused like, oh, like how much miles do you do? And they usually get amazed.
Hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, wow, you rode all the way to Ripon or whatever and back. That's crazy, right.
Just some parental advice. Like your friends are fascinated by it, but this really does become an addiction. And as you get older, you're going to go to a party and you're going to start talking about cycling to non-cyclists, and their eyes are going to glaze over. They're not, you have to be very careful.
That's right. Yeah.
Catch up on current events as well. Know what's going on in pop and
Yeah.
entertainment, just so you're a little bit more well-rounded when you go to a
Yeah.
party. So
No FTP talk,
yeah.
no
Yeah, yeah.
trainer road, none of that. Strava.
But
Yeah.
but it does come back. So I wasn't being rude a minute ago. I was looking at my phone, but I was actually using the calculator. Do you participate? Two questions. Do you participate in any of the sports? Do you play basketball? Do you play soccer? And or anything? It could be bocce ball. I don't, whatever. And you are road, but do you do any other cycling disciplines? So that's a two-pointed question.
Very nice.
Go ahead,
Uh,
Josh, Jacob.
Oh, so yeah, before we got into cycling, we were part of like basketball. Like we thought we wanted to try it. We didn't end up liking it, and then we got into cycling. And then Jacob, yeah, I tried NICA racing,
Oh, okay.
like
Yep.
mountain biking. So I
Okay.
only did one race. That was in Modesto. Yeah, I liked it, but I just wanted to focus on one thing, which was road cycling.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that. I've seen the highlights of you guys playing basketball in the driveway. I think it's probably good you stick with cycling.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I played a lot of basketball in my day. I'm a total hoop head. But and Josh, you got some good size, kid. You can't teach that.
I know.
Yeah.
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 yeah,
But
Oh, well,
yeah.
you can't tell from sitting here because you played basketball and you're incredibly short, Mike. You said he's got good size. How tall are you?
I'm
I'm 6
incredibly
foot.
short. Wait a minute. I'm incredibly short. What is that? Incredibly. Okay.
You
All right. Yeah.
Mike, you contemplated buying an extra small women's frame one time.
This
Like,
is
come
true.
on.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Yeah,
Uh,
but Josh, you're 6 feet, right?
Yeah,
6 feet.
6 feet.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you,
Dang.
Jacob?
I'm still 5'4".
5'4", my man.
You
Yeah.
could borrow Mike's bike.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I would love that. We set that up sometime. Let you take it for a spin. Yeah.
So I was looking at my phone. I was using the calculator, right? So there's 24 hours in a day. There's 7 days, and it was 8. It's like a Beatles song. There's 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week. 8 of those hours you are, hopefully you're sleeping. The other 8 you're in school. That leaves, 40 hours in a given week. Did I do that right? 42 hours.
You lost me, Dave. This is getting way complicated.
Well, I know, but that leaves you roughly 40 hours in a week to have fun and do training and whatever else it is you like to do. How many out, and to be good at it, let's face it, you got to do a lot, right? So how many hours a week are you committing to training? And like the day of a race, obviously that's an all day thing. Like, how much of this does it gobble up?
So on a normal like week for training with school and all, I try to hit at least 8 to 10 plus hours.
Right.
So I'm averaging about 200 plus miles a week. Building
Okay.
my base endurance right now. So yeah, that's how it looks like for me. Yeah, for me it's I do about 6 hours a week.
Okay.
Technically 1 hour per day with one rest day.
Okay. Is
Got it.
it now that's less than Josh? Is that because you're lazy, or because really
I'm busier with school.
you're busier with school? Oh, no, but I said it as a joke, but I do wonder sometimes at a younger age they might tell you not to do as many hours, right? I don't know if it's as good
Well, there
physically.
used to be a lot of stipulations with junior racing. I think they've kind of backed off a lot of that now, but um, yeah, so that's great. 6 hours, eight to
That's
10
a
hours.
lot.
That's a very healthy relationship with cycling. You can still get all your work done, get your rest, and some of us older people tend to do more than that, and we obsess over getting our 15 hours or 20 hours. Some people, it's crazy, right? It can get away from you, but
Yeah.
it's good that you have that good balance. And then, and I don't know if you've ever read that. Chris Carmichael has that book, 6 hours a week. It's all you need to
No,
be
yeah,
a high level racer. It's just about being focused,
Yeah.
and do your discipline. Be disciplined in your riding. And the thing that I think a lot of people get into as they get older is there's a lot of I don't like this term really, but we call them junk miles, where you're just on the bike, you're either socializing, you're in a group ride. There might be some intensity here and there, but for the most part, you're just kind of cruising. So and that's how a lot of the hours get eaten up. And that's kind of Carmichael's point in his book. It's like if you're on a really tight time schedule, then focus on your training and do these specific workouts. Just get the workout in, and get out, and then recover. So, yeah, that's good. So
Do,
now let me
do,
ask you this: how serious are you about your food?
food.
Do you guys eat cheeseburgers and French fries and milkshakes, or are you
cookies for breakfast?
yeah, like Dave?
Only when we go out we eat that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But at home, mom makes sure we eat like all the healthy stuff, like make sure we have our veggies and nothing of junk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah. Actually, we're like vegans.
Oh, is that
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
Okay. Did
yeah,
oh,
not know
wow.
that. So the whole family?
yeah,
Because you have two
yeah.
other
The whole,
kids as well. So there's 6 of you, and all of you are
yeah. And my
vegan.
daughter, yeah. And
Wow.
we're surprised too because we do our annual test. We go to the like the doctor, and the doctor is like, you got over protein.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These kids are like,
So many beans.
yeah, too many beans.
Uh-oh.
Too much protein. Wow.
Yeah.
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 I didn't know there
So
was such a thing, but good. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of cyclists are protein deficient because they just don't get enough because of what they're asking of their body.
Yeah.
I feel that way sometimes. And in the past, I definitely did. We had a guest and she later became a sponsor of the show, Dara Rickman, and she's a physical trainer and whatnot. And she's helped me with my protein intake. And since then, I've actually been recovering a lot better because of
Yeah.
it. But
She's big on it.
yeah, but
Do you-
that's good because I know that like as a vegan, it can be tough to get enough protein, generally speaking.
Yeah. Yeah, we're like been like almost 8 years already,
Okay,
you know. Yeah.
great.
And yeah, it at first it's hard, but my wife is, being, good doing improvise, like making good, vegan, food. So, the kids, start loving it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I do want to come back to the family affair thing. But all these, the diet, the number of hours on the bike, do you individually have coaches, or the teams that you're on have coaches and they tell you what your plan is, or dad's your coach, or what?
So far, I make up my own plan.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah,
They don't have coaches. Pretty much I just tell them, hey, don't forget to train today. And after you train, drink a lot of fluid, like,
right.
because
I-
sometimes they forget, they during the day they train, they ride like hour or two, then they just do their school stuff and they're not drinking or snacking, something like that.
Yeah.
wow.
Well, you can
Wow.
get away with that when you're young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
How
so let me ask you this, Josh, because you say you kind of come up with your own. Are you doing is it a structured plan or is it kind of more like what you feel? Like if you were working with a coach, let's just say maybe every Wednesday would be interval day, let's just say. And then the Friday would be like a long, slow distance day. And then, anyway, I'm just giving you an example. So do you have a set structure like that each week? Or are you just is it random?
It's kind of random,
Hmm.
whatever my body feels at the moment.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's more of like if I feel like my legs feel good and I can do an effort, I probably do a Zwift race or a long hard Zwift group ride, which ends up becoming a race.
yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, I bet on those. Yeah. So how about you, Jacob?
Yeah, I don't have a coach either. I just do random, yeah, like how my brother said, just random things every day.
Yep.
I try to get like over 1,000 feet in like per week in one ride. So I try to do one climbing in one day. And yeah,
Right. Okay. And
I'm a little concerned about how fast you guys would be at the time at which you actually do have coaches. I'm not trying to take you off your plan, but that's
yeah,
yeah.
holy
yeah.
crap.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Easy. Okay. Well, yeah. So the it's interesting you say 1,000 feet a week. That's so most racers that generally are going to be doing fair amount more than that per week, right? In terms of elevation. But so that makes the type of training that you're doing even that much more important. So would you say that do you guys do intervals on a regular basis?
No, I would say no, no.
No. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. Well, right. So, and you're having success. So whatever you're doing is working. So the
Yeah,
vegan, the flats, maybe
Yeah.
maybe you're onto something. with
But-
not putting too much elevation into your schedule. Because I feel like a lot of racers do end up overdoing it on their training, and then it affects them come race day. They're a little bit more zapped, where maybe you're coming in fresh.
This is Mike's therapy session, since that's all he does is climb. So
Yeah.
he's using you as his therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen your rides, Mike. They look crazy.
So, but it does bring a good, interesting question, and maybe that we come back full circle around. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's totally nuts. Did you see a couple weeks ago? It was 4 hours on Zwift, and it was there. There wasn't one flat mile, right?
I'm just flushing out all the negative,
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's all gone. It's all gone. Sometimes it takes 2 hours. Sometimes
Yeah.
it takes 4. It's just how it
I-
goes.
I'll spend 4 hours on Zwift, and then I don't have to think about Dave for a whole nother week.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Seriously.
but maybe this comes back to Mike's original question, right? So I was kind of chuckling. I did a charity ride in Marin, and there was a guy from Florida, and he said, he goes, he was struggling on the hills. And I said, how many miles a week do you ride? He goes, about 400. I go, oh man. He goes, yeah, but that's like 600 feet of elevation, right?
Yeah.
So you're out in Modesto, to Mike's original point, relatively flat, right? I've done the Modesto stage race. I've the Modesto road race. So yes, it's flat. Well, there is one bridge we go over that I think has 6 feet of elevation gain. But then how do you come in and turn out those numbers at the Diablo challenge?
Right.
I think when it comes to time of the challenge, we do like probably a month before is when we actually do a lot of climbing, like up the Zwift, climbing routes, you name it.
Yeah.
On mostly on Zwift?
Yeah, mostly on Zwift because our area is just flat.
Yeah.
Right.
So we can't really train. We do visit Mount Diablo like before the challenge, so we do get practice up and down it.
Okay. Yeah. And do you guys get over and do Del Porto Canyon at all?
Yeah, that's our
Okay.
main training route for outdoors.
Got it. Yep. That's a good climb, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty rolly.
Yeah.
Yeah. How far from that is that from your place? It's quite a ways, isn't it?
No, I don't think so.
We're like 10 miles, something like that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So back to this Zwift thing. There's the family. Well, first of all, you have 2 daughters as well.
Yes.
Any
Yeah.
interest in cycling?
They try.
Yeah.
The oldest is now, and Juliana, she raced couple of races, the Bariani.
Oh, no
She
kidding.
did good. She won those junior category. But like after 2 years, you say that cycling's not for me. I say, hey, that's all right.
No,
didn't
yeah.
force-
you won. It is for you. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah, that's why like every year pass, right? Oh, Juliana, they're calling your name in Bariani. They want to race you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have 2 kids myself, and my son is super into it, and my daughter not so much. And not for lack of effort. I never got her to a race course. So although she did a duathlon one time, but yeah, same thing. She plays soccer. She loves soccer, and I love watching her play soccer. I don't know anything. I'm not good at soccer, but yeah. So yeah, everybody's got to kind of find their own thing, and yeah, it's cool that you got her at least out to the road race, and she had some success, and yeah, on to the next for her. Yeah.
Well, and I'll give you props, Dad. I mean, I don't know the family dynamics, but here's you let her choose that she didn't want to do it, right? She made a decision and you didn't force her to do it. I can tell you that I can't tell you for sure, but I go to any organized sport here and in the Bay Area. And my guess is that a lot of kids don't want to be there. The parents would just force them kind of to do it, right? So props to you for giving them and the choice, right? So good on you.
Well, I
Yeah,
could
'cause
tell you.
I
Oh, go ahead, Joel.
yeah, because I told her, how you will say you don't like it if you don't try it. I say try it first,
Yeah.
then let me know. If you don't like it, then you don't like it.
There you go.
So the first year, yeah, the first year she rode, yeah, she liked it. Like I say, she got the Biryani. Then she raced the following year, she got the Biryani again. Then and they say that I'm done with cycling. It's not really for me. And I say, hey, it's good.
Yeah. All you did was ask her to try it. She tried it. She didn't like
Yeah,
it. Yeah. Good on you.
Well, and Joel and the boys also, it takes a tremendous amount of work. It's discipline
Yeah.
and hard work, a specific type of hard work. That does not to say that your daughter's not into hard work, but it is a specific type of work. And so yeah, it takes a passion for it. And yeah, if it wasn't in the cards for her, I'm sure she's found something else to do. And the cycling will definitely it hardens you up, right? Because
yeah,
the worst thing that's ever happened to you, I like this quote. The worst thing that's ever happened to you is the worst thing that's ever happened to you, right? So some people have never faced any type of adversity, right? They live this life where everything is just given to them, and then all of a sudden, some little thing happens. The front tire on their car's got a little bit of low pressure, and now they're having an anxiety attack, and that's the worst thing that's ever happened to them, right? Well, as a cyclist, there's some hard things that happen to us out there on the road, and you face a
yeah,
lot of adversity. You go through weather conditions, whether it's rain or freezing temperatures or extreme heat, or just climbing up that darn hill, right? Getting to the top of Mount Diablo. That's adversity, and it toughens you up. And that's something that you carry with you all throughout life. So even though your daughter's
yeah.
not into it now, I'm sure she's benefiting from those hard training efforts and race tactics that she put in play in Bariani.
Yeah, she knows how it feels.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
And
so
when the
go ahead.
go ahead. Yes, when the brothers are racing and they're 100% support.
Yeah.
Their
Oh, that's
support.
great. So how did the whole Zwift family pain cave get started? Was it just one trainer at a time, or was it like, hey, we're gonna start training, let's get some
Yeah.
trainers? Yeah, how did it go?
Yeah, so it was me Josh, who wanted to get into Zwift. I saw the program online. I was like, this is cool, it's like a game.
Yeah.
So my dad had like just a normal trainer. It was just a normal dumb trainer where
Oh,
I just got
boring.
like a,
Yeah.
yeah, just a normal
You put a sensor.
a sensor on the back rear wheel and a cadence sensor on the crank, and that's all. It was just artificial power, Z power, you call it.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
then yeah, I started like that. And then eventually I went to a smart trainer. Jacob started to like it. My dad thought it was cool, and then eventually everybody just wanted to go on the smart trainer.
So how many smart trainers do you have, and how big is your house? I mean, where is that pain cave?
Yeah, we have four smart trainer. Then we set it up in one room, like like regular room, like a
Yeah.
workout room. There's a
Okay.
there's a there's a treadmill, weights.
A
So
mini fridge.
yeah, mini fridge. We're-
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
So how
we'll
many, I'm
we,
curious, with the multiple units, are you able to run multiple units on the same screen? Does it work like that
we
or
got our
no?
own.
Each one has its
No,
own.
different.
Okay. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And are you riding together, or are you doing your own workouts?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes we ride together. Sometimes we do our workout. Me and my wife do our own workout, and these boys are like racing
Yeah.
sometimes.
Do you
Wow.
ever use those GCN training blocks? You ever try any of that stuff like the functional
Yeah, I've seen
yeah.
those intervals. I've tried a couple.
They're no joke.
I
I did the burst interval. Oh my goodness. Go ahead, Jacob. You just gonna say?
I said I only like I tried it once. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I did there was one where it's like 13 but I forget the name of it, but you ramp up for 10 minutes it's all based off your FTP. So you ramp up for 10 minutes and then you got to ride at your FTP for 2 minutes. And then you go for 30 seconds at like my FTP is like 300. It goes to like 380 or 380. You have to hold 380 for a minute. And then you have to drop down to FTP for 2 minutes. And then you go back to 380 for a minute and then back to FTP. Anyway, there's 13 of those bad boys. I did like 3 of them and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to make it,
Wow.
that's a serious workout. So yeah. Okay. So now on the Zwift racing. So I used to be a leader on the Wednesday night AHDR ride. It's called America's Hump Day Race. Have you guys
Yeah.
ever done that?
I've done their group rides. I like their group rides.
Yeah, yeah. So so the format is 40 minutes at 2.5 to 3 watts per kilo. And then the last 20 minutes is either you stay at that or you go all out in a race. And that race at the end, woo, good Lord, it gets wild. So you guys have done that?
Yeah, always I always remember those mini races like last lap or last 20 minutes. So I always enjoy those ones.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. And sometimes you get some big names in there on those events, So that makes it kind of interesting too, get to ride with some of the pros.
How much of your time is on Zwift and of your training? Like if you're 8 and 6 hours or 6 hours, how much is Zwift and how much is outdoors?
I feel like majority of it is Zwift. So let's say about like 2/3 of training goes into indoor, outdoors 1/3.
Okay.
For me, yeah, for me it's the same, but like right now it's winter, so like all my hours are on Zwift.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, me
all on
too.
Zwift.
Right now.
It
Yeah.
certainly does make it easier, right? And convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Josh on Wednesday he's leading a group from like the vegan cyclists,
Yeah,
like a group in
GP.
Belgium.
I do a group ride every Wednesday morning. So I lead that and it's always a fun thing to do.
That's on
Whoa,
Zwift.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah, on
whoa.
Zwift.
Oh, cool.
That's cool. The morning. So what time are you on the train? Yeah, before you go to school?
Well, because my classes are start at 11. I go to a community college, so I have time like
Oh, okay.
morning. So it's not early morning. It's like 8:30.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Nice. And then Dad, how do you feel about letting the youngsters out on the road, right? Because if it's 2/3 Zwift, that's a third on the road. And
Hmm.
I mean, as a parent, I understand, there's probably do you have to be accompany them or do you just let them go? It's kind of
Um,
like,
if I have time, I'll go with them. But
mhm.
right now Josh is big already. I tell him
Yeah,
just watch your brother.
yeah,
But I cannot stop them. That's the way it is. Because I know,
sure.
like being a cyclist, you need
Yeah,
to go out.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah,
you know the danger. But if you're a rider, you know how to deal with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's just like I just go with it.
yeah. It's
Wow.
just with the younger they are, I feel like the spatial awareness, there's like only so much that they're taking in. Whereas the older you get, the more experience you get, that just tends to broaden and you're seeing things way ahead. And I'm sure with your guys, the amount of experience and riding together, I'm sure you've got a really good sense about how to be safe out there. But yeah, we always got to keep our head on a swivel out there on the road.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
I know for myself, I always make a point of trying to ride roads where I know there's not going to be any traffic. Um, so is that something that you guys do? Is that something you practice, or is it more like I got to get to Del Porto and do my thing and uh
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, Patterson's a fairly small town still, so traffic is not really a problem. And once you hit Del Puerto, it's only like the only cars you'll see there is people who live there. So it's pretty nice.
yeah, it's pretty quiet back in there. So I
Yeah.
didn't. So you said you're living in Patterson?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were in Modesto. Yeah. I actually my first home was in Newman, not far from you
Okay.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we do every year, we do like a family ride. We go to Tahoe. We ride around Tahoe.
Oh, nice.
The whole family, my wife, and the boys. So we try to do that.
You go
But
you ride around the lake?
yeah, around the
The
lake. But
oh, okay.
yeah, last summer is a it's a bad year for us because my wife went down really hard.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Yeah,
what happened?
yeah, we start our ride in the morning like like a beautiful day.
South Lake.
Yeah, then once we start in Salt Lake, we climb Emerald Bay, then we descend to Taos City. Then when we reach that Taos City, the storm rolled in. We got caught by a storm.
Oh.
Hailing like
Oh,
and yeah, we're like really freezing. And my goal is like to go a place like Subway restaurant, but when we're on our way over there, she went down bad.
uh-oh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, did she have to go to the hospital or was it just not
Um,
that
you know,
serious?
not that serious, but yeah, she backed up a little bit on riding, but now she's back right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that can be very
Takes a
traumatic.
while to get back. Yeah.
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 Wow.
Well, and that's what we were talking about, those conditions that harden you
Yep.
as a person, you face that adversity and hopefully you don't have to crash to experience that adversity, but yeah, but she's back at it now.
Yeah, she's back at it right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
started with like she's doing Swifting already, and yeah,
She down for
and
Tahoe 2024?
yeah, yeah,
After
Yeah.
after she checks the weather report. Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll commit after I've listened to
Yeah,
the
that
weather
that day is
channel.
like really that day is really like weird. It's like we check the weather is really nice. That's why we planned it already that day because we
Yeah.
stay 1 week in Tao and we plan a day for like a long ride.
Yeah.
Then that day is just like the day. Oh man! And the bad thing is like when she went down, and Jacob is freezing too. We're all wet, right? And
Yeah.
there's people help us. They give us a ride. So now me and just stuck with like 4 bikes.
Oh.
And yeah, and, my wife's bike and Jacob's bike, and we need to walk 1 mile to the Subway restaurant right there in Tao City.
Oh, wow.
And oh man, and I saw just like word too much, and I say, just calm down, we'll make it.
Right.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, those experiences, oh my goodness. I had
yeah.
I think I told you about my Maui experience where I got hypothermia. I got
Oh,
hypothermia in my hands. I got hypothermia, but I still to this day, this is like, I don't know, maybe 9 months ago. To this day, my fingers, they're still numb, the fingertips and my thumb. And even with all my experience, I had to make a call on the weather. You never really know,
yeah.
and yeah, I made a bad decision and it ended up costing me. And it turns out, according to my doctor, I may have almost died up there, but a family rescued me, thankfully, and they drove me down, got me in their car and warmed me up. And then, yeah, I was fine. Like I went from unconscious, to fine in like 15 minutes, just by getting warm in this vehicle. And but yeah, I still have this. So you got to be careful out there. You definitely want to try to prepare. It sounds like you did everything you could. It just that's the thing in the Sierras, weather can turn. And when like here, when weather turns, it might, it might get a little chilly or something. But there, yeah,
Wow.
it's a different ball game. It'll get really harsh conditions. So,
Yeah, but the other thing about it though is I'm going to get maybe wax philosophical here, but as cyclists, right? That's what you're taught to do is like or endurance athletes, you push through, you push through, you push through, right?
right,
There's a point at which you've got to listen to your body and say no, and then that may even happen in a race, right? It may happen in you're going to get some race someday, and it's I did the Chico stage race one time, and it was. 100, something like that. It was well over 100, or the Belgian waffle ride, it was 110 degrees in the shade, right? You know, at some point, your body's reacting, and you know, the natural reaction as a cyclist is like, no, 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 the finish line, the finish line, the finish line. Sometimes you just got to say, hey, today is not meant to be. You know, you
Right.
really have to listen to your body. So,
Well, Dave, why you brought that up, it reminded me of this post. Oh, you guys can't see my screen, but Joel actually put this post up from Stephen Bartlett about being able to basically knowing when to quit, to change direction and leave a toxic situation is something that winners do. And so,
this is our Joel here.
yeah, it's from his Instagram. He did this post about, you know, just basically it's okay to quit. And if you're in a bad scenario, just get out of it,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
that's something that is lost on a lot of cyclists, you know. Have you guys ever, the book, The Velominati? Have you guys seen the Velominati book?
Oh no.
Okay.
Have you
Heard
heard
about it, but
Have you heard of the Illuminati? Right? There's these
yeah, but
theory that there's these lizard people that are controlling everything. It's this weird thing.
Uh-huh.
But so this person wrote this book, The Velominati, and it's like a spoof. But there's these rules in there, and Rule 5 and Rule 9. Rule 9 is about riding in inclement weather. There's all these rules in there about being hard. But yeah, sometimes you gotta pull the plug and know like, hey, I could be doing damage to myself here. I need to get it warm or get out of this situation. So
Yeah.
yeah, good on you for doing that. Well, listen, I know you guys you have a race today.
yeah, but cancel.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, yeah, come on. Right?
They're what was the early birds were today,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Those early birds.
Yeah, they canceled it. So
Yeah.
So
Wow.
we'll be riding in Zwift.
Me too.
got it.
Yeah, I've actually got my
Yeah.
jersey on underneath here. I'm getting ready to get on Swift once we wrap it up. But yeah, well,
You mentioned your training room, right? So
Yeah.
you got 4 Zwifts, 4 smart trainers, you've got a refrigerator, and you said some weights. Do you guys do weight training as well, or that's just there because it looks good and improves and impresses the chicks?
Uh, the boys they don't want to do weights. You know, me and my wife try to, you know, do some lifting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
God, am I going to catch a lot of crap for using the word chicks? Is that going to be, that's not going to go over really well to our female listeners,
you're
is it?
very misogynistic, Dave. Watch yourself, old timer.
Haven't I been good though? I have listened. I'm sensitive to the age of these guys. I haven't sworn once.
Yeah,
I just,
what is the term for you youngsters? What do you call the girls? Like when Dave and I were in high school, they were chicks.
yeah.
They were chicks. That's not a very nice thing to say
No,
when
and
you
I
think about
apologize.
it.
It was a poor choice.
Yeah. What do you call the girls now? Are they just girls?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
say
it's
just
the
girls.
girls.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I feel like that the chick term is kind of gone now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Probably for the
boy. Can
best.
we, how's your editing skills, Mike? We really need to block this one out. That was
I'm
bad.
terrible at editing, so
Oh no. Oh gosh.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh brother. All
All right.
right. I'm still
Well,
sick. That's what I'm going to say. I'm still sick.
okay, so let's
So
talk about this upcoming year. What do you guys have any short-term goals for this year and then maybe even long-term goals as cyclists? Do you think like that?
Yeah. So yeah, for me, it's just reach the next level, which is becoming a cat 2,
Cat two.
maybe
That's a
within the
big jump.
next year and a half. Yeah, and it's a pretty hard jump.
Yep.
So I gotta put the work in. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's just the race experience. Try to win as much as I can.
Yeah.
All my goals.
That's a great goal.
Yeah.
Right? That'll carry you far. Try to win as much as I can. Yeah.
Yeah,
that,
but I told this boy, you know, you cannot win all races, but you know, just always do your best.
Right.
guys,
And always be safe. That's the thing, you know, always be safe.
Yes.
there are guys that have had 15-year pro pro race careers, raced the Peloton, all big tours, never won a race. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But they made
Yeah.
a living doing it.
Yeah. It's pretty
Yeah.
wild. Yeah, I was reading something about that on Velo News about these pros that are on the world tour stage that have never won a race. That's pretty wild to think about.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But,
Yeah.
you
Goes
know,
back to the team dynamics thing. People don't understand it's such a team sport.
Yep.
well, and I think Joel, you hit it too, is like the key is be safe, right? A lot of times these races, as you get to the end, it gets pretty dicey. And you know, really what's at stake? I mean, you know, it's like let's not end up crashing out just to get you know, to win a race that doesn't really, you know, there's
Yeah.
not a lot
Yeah, you're
riding
not
on it
getting
necessarily, you know.
getting
So
paid for it. Yeah.
yeah, you got to pick your opportunities, make sure they're safe.
The first time I made the podium was at Fort Ord. They used to have a circuit race down there, and to your point, right, about like understand that we're amateurs in this group sprint at the end.
Mhm.
My prize for getting on the podium was a tubular tire.
Yeah.
I don't race tubular, and what am I going to do with one? Right.
Yeah.
But that was my prize, right? For
Yeah.
coming in like fourth. I'm like, what?
All right.
Yeah.
So just remember, right? I mean, you want to do your best, but
Yeah.
what are we racing for?
Have you guys experienced any crashing in a race, or have you been near a crash that happened where you were able to kind of get through it? Yeah, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So I've crashed once in a Suisun Harbor crit. It's a really technical it's almost like a hot dog style, like long straight. It's a four corner crit and then the two short sections, two long sections, and it usually gets really dicey at that short section because from a wider road it goes to a more narrow, almost like so like
Yep.
everybody overshot a corner once 2 years ago actually, and I got caught in it. So yeah, that was my
Yeah.
only crash so far.
Yeah. Did you get
I
injured?
crashed
No, just road rash, luckily.
Oh, okay.
Just from experience, just always have Tegaderm in the car. It's just it makes yeah.
Yeah. How about you,
How about
Jacob?
you?
I crashed like a couple of times, like two or three times. But one really bad one was in Auburn. It wasn't even during a race. It was warm up for a race. I hit it was like a pretty steep descent into a left turn. I hit like a dip on the road. It's like almost a pothole. Yeah, I hit it. My whole back went up, and then yeah, I was just in the air, front forward.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over the
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah, over the bars.
That's a scary moment because he's on the ground for like a minute or two.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
yeah, he's not moving. And I thought to myself, I think, what did I do? I say
Oh,
that's it for like on that moment you'll be like, oh man, like why? Like, and I say, I think that's it for Jacob for racing. Then
yeah.
when he get up on that moment, he just like, and I ask him, are you still racing? And he say, yeah. So,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
it's just like I say, it's part of it.
It is.
It's part of it.
Yeah.
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 And the thing about cycling is it can happen so quickly.
Yeah.
You know, you have to really, particularly descending or also in inclement weather, like probably what happened with your wife, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, if you get cold, your hands get cold, and then your decisions, everything kind of your ability to react, everything kind of changes a little bit. Yeah, you got to definitely really be aware while you're on the bike. I've had some crashes where it's like it's embarrassing to even talk about, where I'll just be like doing something stupid, not even paying attention, putting something in my back pocket, take my eyes off the road, and then all of a sudden it's like bam, you know. That's happened, you know? So, yeah, you
That's
gotta,
why I don't ride with him anymore.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. But yeah, you learn those lessons, hopefully once, where it's like,
Yeah.
hey, if I'm on this bike, I gotta really take this serious. I used to ride with these Colombian guys, the brothers, the Prado brothers. It was Mauricio and Manuel Prado, and they were far better cyclists than me. And Mauricio even raced in Spain for Team Shackley back in the day. But they would take their jacket, their windbreaker off while riding and stuff it and then stick it into their pocket. I always thought this was really cool. Well, I crashed one time trying to do that. Yeah, so I got all tangled
Those are
up and
tough ones.
then yeah, and they would also remove their leg warmers while riding. So they had some advanced skills. And I now, if I need to take my jacket off, I just pull over. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
not taking my jacket off while I'm riding. That's
Yeah, don't try this at home, folks.
yeah, yeah. But
Hey, we
Yeah.
we mentioned, you said that what the goal for this year was. You want to jump to a cat 2 and you just want to win a lot of races. What about beyond that? I mean, you're Josh, I mean, Jacob, I'm not keeping you out of the conversation, but Josh, you're kind of at that age when, you know, bigger and better things are, I mean, you said you're how old now? 18?
18.
Yeah,
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to an interview with Geraint Thomas now, and he says the teams aren't looking for people like him. They're looking for 19, 20, and 21-year-olds, right? And you can just look at the Peloton. Do you have aspirations of going bigger and better?
I'm not thinking about going that far. I think I'm just seeing how far I can go with the time I have like racing and
Mhm.
having fun, of course, at the same time doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't burn yourself out. Just enjoy it, right? If it stops being fun, then right.
Mhm.
I don't know how
Yeah.
it could ever stop being fun, right? I
Yeah,
Yeah.
mean,
no, well, but when it's like, look what you and I do. We're doing it for fun. I
yeah,
mean, obviously we're doing it for fun. They're doing it too. And suddenly, I mean, look, I'm not
could
going to
be a
lie.
career path. Yeah, could
Yeah,
be a career
but when I
path.
but I, when I was training, right, 11 months out of the year, 5 months, 5, 6 days out of the week, following some structured training plan, there were days when it's like, is this fun? You know, so it's tough. It's tough to keep going year
Yeah.
after year, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, I have a question for you guys, and I don't know if you think about it in this way, but as an older person, Joel, Dave, myself, if we were not riding our bikes, we would be packing on weight. We would be having like these other things going on with our bodies. As young guys, I know when I was younger, I didn't, I could like, I mean, I had a six pack. I didn't even do sit-ups. You know what I mean? When I was younger. So, do you see physical benefits to cycling at your age, or is it you've kind of always been in this kind of physical condition? Do you notice any type of physical benefits?
Yeah, I noticed it. Like it's you don't easily get worn out.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
you must be
Like
laughing your asses off in at PE. They tell you got to go run around the track a few times, and it's probably
yeah.
no work for you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. How
Yeah,
about you, Josh?
that's
Would you
funny.
say you've noticed anything?
I'd say yeah, just overall when you're doing anything physical, like you have an easier time, your endurance is better when you're doing other sports, say a run or something. And
Yep.
yeah, like you were saying, like people like I overhear people complaining about just walking far from a parking lot to the school, and like I'm like, wow, people actually don't take any workout,
Yep.
It's
and like
true.
mentally, it's good for you, physically, especially. So yeah, it's just a really important thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, listen, I, j-
Oh, hey, I got
uh,
one last question,
all right.
and maybe they'll be mad. Dad will be happy. How do you guys do in school? Because I know this takes a lot of time, right? So,
Yeah.
how are the grades?
Oh, good. I mean, they my parents set us a rule like school first over cycling. So if we're not meeting school standards, we have to slow down on cycling. So we have to really balance that
Yeah.
Yeah.
I check their grades regular. They're doing good. They're like
All
on an A.
right.
College.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're on that.
Mom and dad, way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's well, okay. So let's let you guys get back to your Sunday, but I want to applaud you, Joel, for what you've done with your family. I think it's really admirable. And the boys, you've taken the baton from dad and you're running with it, and it's really cool to see. And hopefully you're inspiring others your age to look at cycling as a possibility. It is something that you can do your whole life and get a lot of enjoyment out of it. It's good for your mind, your body, your soul, everything. And so the fact that you're tapping into that at such a young age, I think that's really great.
Yeah, I really do wish to your point, Mike, I mean, who knows what it had been, but I grew up playing baseball and basketball right through high school. And, if I had known then what I know now, I think I wasted a lot of my life. I mean, it was great. And I did pretty well, but God, if I had found the bike earlier, the possibilities. So good for you guys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
So.
okay. Well, you're on social media somewhat, right? So if somebody wants to follow along with the Luna cycling family, how would they do that?
Oh, I just got like my what do you call that?
Your
Instagram.
Yeah, my Instagram.
What do they call that?
Yeah, I'm not. I use that Instagram just for like cycling. That's it. And my Facebook. That's it.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no. Take a picture the next time you eat a meal. Take a picture of it. I want to see that.
Oh yeah. My wife is Jin Luna. She teach vegan cooking class. So she gets some food over there on her
Facebook.
Facebook.
Okay,
Okay.
got it.
All right. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck this year, fellas, and beyond. And I'm serious, Jacob. I'd like to, we ride a similar sized bike. Let's get you over here sometime. We'll get you on that Propel. Change
All
your
right.
world. All right. We'll try to
Yeah.
Yeah, I
coordinate
got a
that.
first race, Mike.
Yeah. All right. I'm down. Let's do it.
All right.
I can't
Now that I
go
know
to
your
Diablo in 52 minutes though.
yeah, now that I know your times, I'll see you at the I'll see you at the Diablo challenge, but I'll be there rooting you on. I won't be trying to
Yeah.
compete with you. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
best of
Well,
luck, guys.
thanks so much, and
All right.
appreciate you
Thank
sharing your
you.
story.
Thanks for having us.
Okay. Yep.
Peace.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.